Cock push-ups for sure.
You good?
Okay.
Going?
Yep.
All right, here we are. We are at Bottom Lounge in the big-ass bus of Lords of Acid. I'm going to let these guys introduce themselves individually, and then we'll get started on who this guy is here.
I'm Galen Whaling. I play drums for Lords of Acid.
I'm Praga Khan. I'm a Belgian farmer.
You're a Belgian farmer?
Yeah.
Okay. and what do you farm?
Weeds.
Weeds. This it's been kind of hard to farm when you're over here right now.
I know, but my neighbor is taking care of my plants. at
Okay,
this
that's
moment,
good.
yeah.
And who's Blackhawk?
Oh, this is Leroy.
That's Leroy?
He's one of the many blow-up dolls that we have
Yeah.
for today and future dates. Yes.
Awesome. And crowd pleasing?
Well, he's got a smile, so
Well,
I
he's
think
pleased.
so.
Yeah, he's pleased.
Yeah.
Oh, I do got to say too. One of my DJs, Doc Metal, he does have. He said he wished he would have known you guys were here because he has one of your Pink albums that you guys
really?
did from your GoFundMe.
Right on, man.
He goes, I wish I'd have known you guys were here. He goes, you would have gave it to me, so you guys would have signed it for him. But he's
There's
on air right now, so he.
There's only 300 copies of
Really?
of that edition. Yeah.
Yeah, and he got one.
He's got
Yeah,
one.
he did get one.
Yeah.
So Lords of Acid, how long has that been around? How long? I mean,
We started it back in '88
Yeah.
as one of my projects because there were so many projects. Because in those days you didn't make albums; it was like you made a dance track, you know. So I had a lot of projects, and strangely enough, that was the only project that the only album project that kept selling.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Years and years and years, and then 3 years later we found out that all the records from Lords of Acid were going to the States. Yeah, and that's when I got this phone call from Caroline asking me, can you do an album for Lords of Acid? I said, oh, well, okay, we almost forgot about that project. And yeah, it turned out to be the right thing. Yeah, because the thing was, in those days you had Al Gore's wife Tipper Gore,
Mm-hmm.
who was against everything that had to do with sex.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember, yeah, she was
Yeah.
the one that had to get labeled
Yeah,
on
yeah.
your albums.
So the Lost album came at the right moment because that's what the kids wanted to have. You know, it's like yeah.
So now that you still got Lords of Acid. You pick up new members. Obviously, I mean, he wasn't around then. He's how do you get your the new people in to on your band? How do you get people in? Where do you find them? And how do you get them on the same page of what you started to what you are today?
The thing is, the most important thing is that it's people that I get along with really well, like we're friends, you know. And on top of that, he's an amazing drummer. So he fits perfectly well in the band, Lords of Acid, and that's how we do it. It's like when we have members that don't fit in the band, they only stay like for one tour.
Yeah, and then just
then they disappear. Yeah, but it's also the thing is you're on this bus like for 5 weeks, and yeah, it's very, very important that you have people who have the right what do you say it, mentality.
Right mentality, respect for other people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to respect. I mean, you being the younger, of a younger generation. Obviously, Lords of Acid was around way before you started, and so you got to respect. If this guy wants me on his band, it's like an automatic shit. I'm gonna, whatever you want to do,
Absolutely.
I mean, is that how it felt to you when he asked you, hey, you want to come drum?
Yeah, absolutely.
You gotta fly him into Belgium.
I like one of the first times I met Maurice was I explained to him that the first CD I had ever purchased was the Mortal Kombat soundtrack, and it was my first introduction to like electronic music as well.
Really?
So, getting the opportunity to play with him after all of these years, it's an honor. It's really cool.
Yeah, and that's what I find out about a lot of the, there are still the younger generation, because I'm 50, so I've seen with him and I, my photographer there, we were talking earlier about concerts we saw back in the 80s and everything, and you know, then those guys are still going, but they have, you know, younger generations with them, and the younger generation, they still have the respect for, you know, for the music. It's, you know, and it's still, still there.
You have that even more in America, I think.
You think so?
Yeah. I'm 100% sure, because like here in America they have a lot of respect for the originators of the music, you know, and that's something I really like about America too, you know, that people respect that you did this so long ago and you created the scene.
Yeah.
In a way.
You know, I think it's funny, my kids are 23 and 21, and when they hear a song, I'll be like, you know, that song was originally recorded in like 1947. Mm-hmm. And my kids are like, no, it's not. I'm like, Heather, you know, that's not a song that wasn't, that song's old, okay? And they don't get it. But, you know, it's funny when now my kids are learning more about music, you know, from the 9 years that I've been doing this now, they know a lot more that's happened. So what inspired you to pick up drumsticks? Let's get to you.
Oh,
and
man.
How you got started.
I just like hitting stuff. So I got started in school band when I was very young and did all the symphonic and jazz bands through grade school and all that stuff, and liked it so much that I started touring right out of high school. And
really,
here I am years later. So.
Who'd you tour with?
I've toured with a band called Left Spine Down out of Vancouver, BC for a very long time.
Okay.
Industrial eye-punk band. I've done tours with Julian K, which are featuring you know, Ryan Shuck and Amir Dirac, formerly of Orgy, and I've worked with Pig on several tours with Raymond Watts and Ash and Gunter Schultz. Previously came after him.
Okay. So you kind of been around the block for.
Played with a few different bands.
Are you looking for a home, or are you just gonna continue?
You know,
playing whoever picks you up.
I like playing with all the different artists. Gives me a chance to meet a lot of different people and play different styles of music. So nothing ever really gets boring. It's always an adventure, always something new, always exciting, and it keeps me busy at the same time. So I can continue doing this on a yearly basis.
Yeah. So there's a lot of questions that our listeners give us to ask, and it's mostly the same ones over and over and again, like, you know, how you got your start, blah blah blah, you know. But one of them is like, when you travel, when you're traveling and going someplace, what's like your favorite thing to eat? Is there like a favorite state? Is there a favorite like, you know, is it like Louisiana and gumbo? Is it Texas and barbecue? It's like one thing that our listeners ask.
Well, you're easy because you eat chicken and rice every day. Yeah, he likes his chicken and rice.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm addicted to Chinese food.
Yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah, really. I've been in Japan and China for too long.
How about you? Do you got a favorite or?
Probably Mediterranean or Greek, Persian, that kind of food is my favorite to find on the road. Yeah, the way I go.
Okay, and when you got your first album, was that like your this is what I want to do, or did it come before that? Well, you started way back in the 80s, so what was your inspiration to get started with Lords of Acid and all your other projects?
The thing was that I started as my own record company in the early 80s.
Oh.
Like independent record company, which was a very influential record company in Europe. We had a lot of artists in electronic body music. It was like electronic body music was, you can say, electronic music, but avant la lettre, you know,
right,
EBM. Which was very big in Germany and Scandinavia, France. Bands like such as Neon Judgment were on the label, Front 2 for 2, you know, these bands. And then I started to make music myself when the computer came.
Oh.
The Commodore C64.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah. In those days, and the first samplers.
Yeah.
They had like 1 second sample time.
1 second sample.
You need a whole floppy to put like a bass drum on that thing. But yeah, I've
It's
always.
easier doing reel to reel than doing a floppy.
That's right.
It was.
That's right. Yeah. But I've always been very interested in technology.
Okay.
Technology and music. So for me, it was like best of both worlds. Like technology was coming together with music, and that was for me when I started to create music. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s, I was stationed in Germany from 88 to 91.
Whoa.
After Desert Storm, and
Yeah.
a lot of that, like you were saying, a lot
That
of
was a
electronic
very
music.
creative. These were the very creative years,
Yeah,
music-wise,
they were.
especially in Germany. It was, unbelievable.
Because the punks and the punk rockers and the electronic, it
Yeah.
was like all came into one.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like the Dead Kennedys or the
Yeah.
Surfers. It was a whole different sound.
Yep,
you
yep,
know?
yep,
It
yep,
was
yep.
punk with with the keyboards, but the keyboard was more synthetic or
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah, you're right. It was
Yeah.
it was a different,
Yeah.
a whole different sound in Europe.
Yeah.
Back in the late
Yeah.
80s, and we loved it. It was great.
And the thing was, in those days, it was very difficult because I was also owner of the record company to get a dance record played in America, because in America they didn't play dance music on the radio.
No, not back then. No.
No, not back then.
No.
And so we did a lot of efforts to promote dance music in America, electronic music,
Yeah.
but it was or you had like electronica alternative music
Yeah.
here, or you had like dance music that was played on raves,
Yeah.
but there was nothing in between, so there was nothing that was suitable to play on the radio.
Yeah.
And when we toured, you could listen to classical rock, FM rock, and everything, but you never ever did hear like a dance record on the radio
No,
in
you
those
wouldn't.
days.
No, not like today. There was like maybe one pop station, because I
Yeah.
grew up right across the border in Indiana here, and
Yeah.
the Chicago stations. I mean, we liked them because they all played rock. They all
Yeah,
played what
yeah,
we wanted,
yeah,
and,
yeah.
you know. But that was the guys that I grew up with, you know. So,
Mhm.
but of course we had I don't know what they were the yuppie.
Yeah.
Sound, you know, with
Yeah.
like the flock of seagulls or the
Yeah,
Thompson Twins,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
stuff like that.
The new wave.
Yeah, the new wave. There
Yeah,
you go, new wave.
yeah,
She's
new
over there. Yeah, new wave.
New wave. Yeah, the new wave.
Yeah.
That was
So
great.
how much longer you got on this tour?
Ooh, another 2.5, 3 weeks.
Oh, okay. So you
Yeah.
got quite a bit of ways. To
yeah, I
go
think
yet.
so.
Yeah, we have a lot
March
of people on the road,
27th. March 27th is the last day.
Oh, you got a long time then. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. And what are you guys looking forward to next? We're
Chicago, dude.
well, tonight, obviously. But I mean, after this, where are you guys heading? That's what I was starting.
All over. From here, I mean, we're doing a little run in the Midwest right now, and then we're gonna head east, and then we're gonna go south all the way down, and then we're gonna go west from there, and we end in Vegas. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
When in Vegas? When?
literally the last day, March 27th.
March 27th.
Yep.
Okay.
But the thing is, and I did a lot of tours in the States since '94. The thing is that you never get to see the city. You know, it's like
Yeah.
you arrive in front of the concert hall, in front of the venue with your
Yeah.
tour bus. You go from the tour bus to the venue. You go to do the sound check. You eat something. You do the concert. You go back into the tour bus and you leave.
And
You
you
know.
leave, yeah.
And then people, they tell me, oh, you were in St. Louis or you were in Seattle. Did you see this or that?
No.
I've been in Seattle.
Yeah.
I've been in Seattle maybe 20 times. I've never seen this tourist
Yeah, the
things.
tourist
You know?
attractions, yeah.
Yeah, or the gate to the west in where is it, St. Louis
St.
or something?
Louis,
Yeah, yeah.
Never seen it in my life. You
Never
know?
seen the arch.
No, no.
I've seen
And
the
I played
arch
there
going
20 times.
into the city when like you're driving over it, like driving on the freeway, but that's about it.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah,
But that's crazy, and so a lot of people ask me, you've been there, you've seen it. No, I was there. You know, I know
Yeah.
I know the club, and then people.
Yeah.
And then people start to talk like about Chicago. They say, you remember the Chicago? You played at Cubby Bear and blah blah blah. I know Cubby Bear because it was in front of that
Wrigley Field.
Wrigley Field.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know this club because we played here last year, but I can't remember all the times that we were here before. You know.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
The only thing I know is the boardwalk in between the tour bus and the venue. That's
all you remember.
Looks very familiar to me.
Do you think you'll ever just come to the States and say, you know what, I think I'm just gonna go check out some spots and go?
We do it sometimes. Me and my wife. It's like when you're touring, like. We were in San Diego, we were in San Francisco, in Los Angeles, okay, in front of the venue. But sometimes we take we come on a holiday and then we go see things. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
But that's something you do when you're on the East Coast or the West Coast. But it's more difficult to do it like in, let's say, Kansas or Washington or these places. You know, it's like because they're. Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, it's just a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Where are you from originally?
Seattle, Washington.
Oh, you are from Seattle?
Yep.
Okay. Anywhere by the naval base up there?
No, technically more in the like Kirkland area.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Okay, because I was stationed in Germany with a guy who's from up there, and I know that's the only reason I know there's a naval base up there. Is because
my parents live over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's how you got into the band up in BC then?
Yep.
Yeah, because it's right there.
Yeah. Well, that and I'm half Canadian, so.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Who's from Canada?
My mom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And are they musically inclined? Did they do any musical, or did you just?
It skipped a generation. My mom's father, so my grandfather, could pretty much pick up any instrument and just play it. Didn't matter what it was. Just
Really?
natural talent. Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
Clarinets. He had trombones, trumpets,
No shit.
drums. Didn't matter. He just pick it up and.
Had that Prince gene, huh?
Yeah. Just knew.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's crazy. Yeah. I just interviewed Mike from Soulfly, and we were talking about the reason he picked up a guitar was because of Les Paul and Mary themselves, because his father would play their albums all the time, and that's how he picked up, because of Les Paul and his playing. So I'm like, that's going back. That's going way back. That guy's just a master of guitars.
Yeah.
So, well, I will let. Well, I don't know. He's still standing there with a heart on. So we'll probably let you go and play with your. Look at there.
Oh.
It's a cock up.
He's a tripod.
Yeah.
He's a tripod.
You want to put your camera on that?
There we go. Oh, come
Eric,
on.
you put your camera on that.
Tripod.
Tripod. What if we can use that for the show to take pictures? That's awesome.
Leroy the tripod.
Like Leroy the tripod.
That's awesome.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for your time. I
Yeah,
appreciate
man.
it. I
Anytime.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
And hopefully, next time you guys come around town, I'll get my DJ's record out here and
That
get
would
you
be
guys to
amazing.
sign it, because he was kind of bummed that he didn't even know you guys were here, and he's got the album at home, and just sitting there waiting for your signature on it. So
Yeah, but that's like, most of the time that's the thing. Like you go play somewhere, and then like 2 weeks later you get a lot of emails. So we didn't know that you were playing.
yeah,
Like in LA or in San Diego or whatever.
right.
Because not everybody is on the internet all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I see. Our main premise when I started Asgard Radio was to help the small Chicago bands have a
that's nice.
platform
Yeah.
to get their music out.
That's good.
And then all of a sudden, I started getting bands from Australia. Then I got bands from Sweden and Norway, and then I got some from like Bolivia. And
Whoa.
I'm like, holy shit! And then all of a sudden, 9 years later, it's like I have 30 countries
Wow.
that I have bands from.
Wow.
So, it's great to sit here with, bands that have been forever, like Lords of Acid, or, I got to sit with Sebastian Bach or with that, which is awesome. But helping the small bands,
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah,
That's
and
what we do.
That's what we stuck to it. All my DJs do the same thing.
We always promote like the sport acts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Gabriel and the Apocalypse is
Oh,
fucking
they are
awesome.
so awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great.
I love her. She is.
Yeah.
She signed a picture for me. The last time I saw him at the fort, she's a great person. And I always ask her if she ever threw her arm out, because the way she slams her microphone pole, and she said she had to get one made because every time she would slam it would break. Wow. She goes, now her one shoulder's bigger than the other because the other one's so fucking heavy that every time she slams it, she's like working out.
Yeah, but it's good. That's something that I appreciate, that you're helping like young bands, because it's not easy as a young band
No,
nowadays.
it's not. And there's nobody plays them. Nobody will give them. And now that we've been out there for a while, they know that we're up there to help them. So
that's good.
That's
good.
That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
So
That's nice.
Do you guys pick up bands around the area when you go?
We try to support them
Yeah.
as much as we can.
Sometimes we get local acts opening, but
Yeah.
for the most, that's really a booking agent
Yeah.
promoter thing. So, but yeah, well, I mean, when they are there, we always try and push that. We had two of the support acts for last tour were Wicked Nightclub, and Nightclub is doing fantastic now.
Really?
Yeah. They just opened for Perfect Circle on their last tour.
No shit.
Yeah, so they're doing great.
Okay, that's cool. That's great.
Good.
All right, well, I'll let you guys relax a little bit more
Right on,
before
man.
you guys take the stage, and I appreciate your time.
Yeah, dude.
And we'll definitely see you again when you guys come around.
Thank
This is
you.
Lords of Acid. We'll see you guys later. This is Asgard Radio.
Yeah, that's exactly what my shoulder is a little bigger on this side too.